right, guys, welcome back to the OffBeat Sports Podcast. Me and Harry running the show. We're back. Harry's reporting from where you from? Where you at, Harry?
I am from Marine Corps Base, Camp Lejeune, North Carolina.
All
That
right.
shit's crazy.
Yep, I'm still reporting from Halifax, Mass. So we're out here.
Ah,
So our episodes present t-shirts. I'm shipping Harry his down. We got some drinks.
That's what I was worried about. I was wondering.
I
Good
can't wait,
stuff.
bro.
So
I'm gonna need my shirt. I'm gonna need my shirt.
all right. So we're going to talk Patriots today. We're going to talk about their Week 1 matchup against the Dolphins. Talk about their loss, what went wrong, what went right. Talk about some Mac Jones. So let's get into it. Let's start. Let's talk about Mac Jones to start. I mean, that's the biggest topic of the week. I mean, what are we feeling?
It was like it's nothing we didn't expect. I'll say that. I feel like it was a very expected start from him. I feel like there was asking more from him like this early on in his career in his very first game, being like, well, he wasn't necessarily leading us up to the standards that we should be at this point. Like, he just got here. He just battled for a QB position for the past 4 weeks. And if he proved himself better than Cam Newton, and this is what we have, I think we should be at least thankful that it's not 18-3 loss. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it could be a lot worse for a rookie's first game. I mean, look at Trevor Lawrence. Look at Trevor Lawrence.
He threw 3 interceptions, which brutal.
It was his first ever loss in his football career.
In the regular season.
First ever regular season loss in his football career. Now you can blame it on his team, but you can also blame it on the nerves of getting to the NFL. I mean, those 3 interceptions, he was overthrowing. He was throwing behind him. At least we can be happy that Mac looked good. He didn't look bad. I mean, his throws were on point. He threw deep. He wasn't.
Well, my thing, I honestly, what I saw from Mac, I thought was good. I'm not going to say great because we didn't win and we only put up what was it, 16 points. I mean,
it was 18-17, I believe.
Yeah, 17 point. I mean, no, it was 17 to.
Was it 17-16?
17-16. Yeah,
I know it was a 1-1.
It was 17-16. So my thing with I thought Mac played well.
Yeah.
He didn't make any glaring mistakes. He didn't throw any picks. He didn't fumble the ball. He protected it pretty well. I saw one play where he kind of looked like he panicked and tried to dump it off to Jonnu in the backfield, and it was kind of a mess. But my thing was,
when he was going down, he tried.
It was right in the beginning of the game. But then he looked comfortable in the pocket. He was throwing the ball well. He was throwing hard. He was being very decisive. And like I said before the game, they were going to keep it to running the ball, short passes to medium passes. They weren't really launching it downfield, kind of keeping it to crossing routes, little short dig routes. It's they really wanted to build up his confidence before they really opened up the playbook for him. But my problem was not with him. I mean, he did well while getting pressured all the time. Listen to this. Ready? Offensive tackles. Isaiah Wynn, he let up 3 QB hits, 4 pressures, and 1 hurry. Justin Herron, 2 pressures and 2 hurries. Guards, Shaq Mason, 2 QB hits, 3 pressures, 1 hurry. Onwenu, 1 QB hit, 2 pressures, 1 hurry. David Andrews, 1 QB hit, 2 pressures, 1 hurry. And then you have your tight ends, Jonnu Smith, 1 pressure, 1 hurry. Hunter Henry, 1 pressure, 1 hurry. Damian Harris, 1 QB hit, 1 pressure. That is a lot.
That's a lot.
That is a lot of getting. But to Mac's credit, and it was obviously that wasn't Mac's fault, but to Mac's credit, my main concern with Mac, and I've been saying it since they drafted him. I mean, I didn't think his footwork in the pocket was there to be able to move and get away from those.
Yeah.
And he proved me dead wrong. I thought he moved around very well. He seemed very aware. Although he was getting hit a lot, it seemed like he was trying to. He knew where they were, and he was getting the ball out before. Because he wasn't sacked. I don't think he was sacked all that. I didn't see any sacks, so I don't think.
Yeah. There was that one play where
there was a couple sacks, but
I think there was a left end that was coming in, and he bust off the left tackle, which is where most of his pressure came from. So he ran in and went high and Mac ducked under and like stepped out to the side. Like he was looking like confident, strong with his feet, and agile. And that's like what we need as a quarterback, but not one like Cam Newton that's going to try and run it every time or just throw it like crazy when he's like getting pressure. Mac looked strong under pressure, and that's what we need.
And he looked comfortable. That is honestly, that was why they got rid of Cam, and that's what Cam was saying, where like his aura would worry like Mac, because which it makes sense, because
no, I know,
if you think about it, Mac, like if you have Cam peering over your shoulder, you're not going to be comfortable on the field because you're going to be scared. That's just unneeded pressure. So I mean, when you but like Mac looked comfortable, and I think that had a lot to do in the Patriots putting that confidence in him, and I think that boosted his confidence enough to like be that comfortable.
I think making Mac the starter wasn't the move that got him there. The move that got him to that comfort position was eliminating any chance at somebody else taking that from him. Just dropping Cam, giving him that whole realization, like, damn, this is my team now. Like, I feel like that kind of pushed him up over the edge a little bit because, like you said, like Cam said, if he was still there just sitting on the sidelines, like, yeah, who doesn't want Cam Newton cheering you on? Because that guy's a hype beast. But at the same time, he's also coming for your job. So having the fear of playing bad and losing your job over the fear of letting some players down because you didn't play as good as you should, like it's a lot less stress to work on top of your shoulders.
I mean, and now I felt like I'm going to keep saying, but I liked how comfortable he looked, because
it was beautiful.
His ability to be that comfortable in his first game just gives me confidence. So he keeps building that up. And then week 4, we have to play the Buccaneers. Hopefully, if he can stay that comfortable, I mean, that's going to be the real test, because that's going to be an insane environment for him.
I'll say this much.
Week 1 is, I'll take it.
Yeah, I mean, I'll say this much. What we got from Mac Jones is what we wanted from Jared Stidham. So, like,
I think they're different players, but I mean,
100%. But I mean more like a mental like purpose. You know what I mean? Yeah. Not like physical aspect on the field, but I mean like what you can do for our team. Like,
I mean, I don't think Stidham got a great chance. He didn't get even his opportunity, but I mean, Mac.
We wanted a lot from him, and he had no chance to like. And then the second he got dropped in, what happened? Pounds and pounds of pressure from everybody being like, Stidham's the next one, and Cam being right there.
Then they bring Cam in, and then when Cam goes out, they start Hoyer. Like it was just not.
It was a bad quarterback situation. So now that we have just Mac makes me really comfortable with how we can look throughout the season. And can we talk about the running back core? Like they played pretty good in the first half.
They played good. They had a couple mistakes that ended up being crucial. Stevenson's fumble actually wasn't a fumble. If you go back and look, ends up he was down, but that really didn't have much effect on the game, just because we stopped them anyway.
I mean, the same can be said for like this is a different game, but like Dalvin Cook's fumble versus the Bengals, like his butt was on the ground, like he was down, but they called it a fumble. So it's like some things work against you, some things don't. At the end of the point, that's just like how the Foot Locker coaches see it.
Yeah, so obviously, Damian Harris's fumble is a little bit more crucial. Like
it hurt us more.
That kind of sucks, but like he had a good game overall. No, and honestly, you can't put the whole game on that, because like there's also like times where like we should have been better anyway. But I was very disappointed in the offensive line. A lot of penalties. I felt like it was
terrible.
Too many penalties, because that brought back some big plays. A couple of Kendrick Bourne fairly long passes that were called back as a holding. That really upset me. I felt like that kind of killed some momentum as well. Honestly, people were kind of shitting on the defense for not being to get the Dolphins off the field at the end. My thing is, I really don't think you can blame that game on the defense. They let up 17 points. They let up 17 points. That is very good. It's just our offense did not score more than 17 points.
Yeah.
Although our offense wasn't bad, realistically, you can't blame this game on the defense.
They held them mostly like very small red zone opportunities. When they got to the red zone, it was like shit. Like they kind of like fumbled under pressure.
Folk got a lot of field goals, and he got
Folk played phenomenal.
Yeah, he had 3 field goals. I mean, he was booting the ball, and I think
the problem with field goals is we need the touchdowns. You know what I mean? And like our running back core is looking good. We have a lot of options we can use with them. Like Harris is,
and we'll have Taylor coming back next week. So JJ Taylor was out.
Yeah, I'm excited for our skills players this year, which is it's nice to say because
I think next week. Yeah, you keep
going. So I'm excited for our skills players, which is nice to say because we haven't had those real like key players we can really trust like that. Like I like N'Keal Harry now. I don't hate him anymore. And it's like he's looking good. We have Kendrick Bourne, like you said. Like our wide receivers are actually like I can trust them. You know what I mean? And it looks like Mac's very comfortable with them as well, which makes me comfortable seeing him like open himself up to that because we saw him throw deep, which we didn't think we'd see him at all throw deep in his first NFL game. We thought he'd be like very close to the slants and the insides and the outside routes, and we see him bomb.
Which is what we mostly saw. But I mean,
yeah,
and I think they let him do it a few times just to kind of see what he could do, and going back, I mean, like, I did like, I mean, it's a prob. The cornerbacks are a problem. J.C. Jackson kind of got burned. He let up 68 yards, 4 for 7. They were 4 for 7 when throwing at J.C. Jackson. I mean, it wasn't that bad, but like, I just think
they just didn't. They didn't know who to cover.
If he wants to be a CB1 that gets paid, he's got to do better than that. And I think when Gilmore's back, it'll be easier because he's very good when covering like the second wide receiver. And then when Gilmore's back, we'll be able to move Jalen Mills to his natural position, which is a safety, instead of having to play corner. And I think that will ramp up our defense a bit.
The one thing for me for defense is that the pass rush wasn't there. We gave them way too much time to actually figure out what they needed. The problem wasn't to me the problem wasn't like, oh, JC Jackson let up a ton of yards. It was more so it's like he had so much time for them to actually get.
But I did feel like Judon had a good. I felt like Judon had a good game. I felt Uche had a good game. I think our inside defensive line needed to get there more, and I do think our edge defenders needed to get there more. But Judon had a QB hit, 2 pressures, 2 stops, and I think he had technically had a half sack. But Uche had a sack. I thought they played pretty well. Van Noy had a sack. Good to have Van Noy back. I like him. But I think. And I thought Kyle Duggar had a pretty good game. I just think it needs to be more consistent. And I think, I mean, obviously 17 points, great. I just think if they play more consistently, and I think their offense just gets a flow, which is it's gonna catch at some point. I think they need to go into this week, and they need to kick the Jets' ass. And if they don't, they don't, I think then we start getting worried. But I mean, they should go in and light them up. Realistically,
I feel like Mac's confident enough to just come in and make it his game because this is a team that's very, very possible for us to actually like show our good sides because we played against the Dolphins, who normally like 3 years ago would have been. And
Dolphins aren't a bad team. The Dolphins aren't a bad team. That's not a bad team to lose to. We should have won, but I mean, it's not a bad team to lose to.
Am I shocked? Am I mind blown that we lost? No, because they do have a lot of power on that team. They have young players that are actually performing really well in the past few years. So I'm not fully mind blown that we lost that game. Am I upset about it? Do I think we could have done more to take that win? Are there mistakes that we could have avoided? Absolutely. But that comes with every game. You take those and you learn from them. The problem comes when you don't learn from them, which we'll find out next week how we do against the Jets. If the same things are happening, that's when we actually have to start taking a notice to them.
Yeah, exactly. And then receivers, just kind of go through the whole receivers. I liked Aguilar. He had the touchdown catch. I liked him. I thought he looked pretty good. Jacoby Myers, reliable as always. I think they need to get Bourne mixed in a little more. I would
He's
have liked to
fast.
see.
He's
I would.
fast.
I would have liked to see him a bit more. He's pretty good at getting yards after the catch. I think if
Yeah.
they work him in a little more, we'll be okay. James White was great out of the backfield as per usual. I mean, I think if you get Bourne some more targets, I think we're looking good. Also the tight ends, we didn't get a lot of
I know. It's
targets
just
towards
such.
them. So I'm hoping we'll get to see a little more from that. But obviously that comes with time.
Yeah.
He was, I think today or Sunday was more of like, let's get the ball around, see what we could do. And I think when you have two tight ends like that, I think you got to utilize it. And obviously some teams are going to overplay that, and that's when you expose them for overplaying it. And if they don't overplay it, then you expose them by showing them what your tight ends can do. And I think that will come with time. And I don't think we'll see some big games out of Henry and Johnny Smith in probably until honestly until a few more weeks, I would say, just because I think they need to get the chemistry on, especially since both of them missed some time in preseason. So and and when they were there, they were mostly working with Cam. So I think once it gets comfortable, we'll see some nice connections, and I'm excited for it.
Another big thing for me is it's with the whole two tight end scenario, we're gonna be seeing a lot of the two tight end, two wideouts, two tight end, two wideouts, two tight end, two wideouts. We're gonna be seeing a lot of that this year.
Well,
and what I think we need to do the most with that is I think Mac needs more time learning how NFL defenses work. Because if he can start to read the zone better, then he could milk the easy cut-in routes with the fucking.
Well,
Go ahead.
Henry and Smith played. Well, Henry played 52 snaps. Smith played 51 snaps out of 70 total snaps, so 74% and 72% respectively.
Yeah.
That was their snap count. They were there. They were on the field a lot. They did a lot of two tight end sets.
Yeah.
And that will come honestly. And I think they did show a lot of protective with the two tight ends. There was a lot of protection because I think they wanted to really let Mac use or
the big guys be big guys.
Yeah, let them have some time to throw the ball, but also they'll get them involved eventually. And I think it's gonna take a couple of weeks to get it going.
The thing with Jonnu Smith and Hunter Henry is they're great scoring tight ends. They're great with their hands and they know how to move the ball. So what we need to what Mac needs to do mostly is learn how to actually work with them over time. This is my 100% honest opinion. I don't think that's going to happen this year. I don't. Do I think we're going to make the playoffs? Honestly, no. I hope we do. We have we have what we need to get there, but the time isn't there for it. That's just
I think this season's a loss if we don't. To being quite honest, if we don't make the playoffs this year, we don't get one of the wild cards. I would say this season is kind of a disappointment because if you look at this team, everyone's saying they're sleepers to be in the Super Bowl, which means they should be a playoff team. Obviously nobody knows what they're gonna get out of Mac, but after watching Week 1, now we kind of know.
It's
you can see what he can do.
It's good to see where we're at, which is it's good for me. But what we saw, just Week 1, it's just Week 1. But what we saw, that's not a Super Bowl ready team. Now, there's plenty of time to build yourself on that because once again, it's Mac Jones's first NFL career game. And it's the first time we've had two fantastic tight ends in our scheme since fucking Aaron Hernandez and Rob Gronkowski. So it's we haven't had the chance to really work with something like this. We haven't had the chance to really work with two star-studded tight ends who can actually move the ball and make plays off routes. It's nice to have that back, but we need Mac to start using them more. They got their looks. Hunter Henry had a nice few 12 yards here, 8 yards there. Jonnu Smith had a nice 16-yarder pass, and they most of it was out routes. So I see they're doing the whole bench scheme over and over and over and cutting them to the outside, trying to get them inside or outside for easy yardage and then stop clock or just keep yourself safe and protected. But those are two big boys that like taking the ball upfield. So like for me, I think sending them like just to confuse the defense a bit because they have the two tight ends. They're going to be running a lot of cover twos, a lot of cover fours to try and keep the small slants on the outsides to make sure if they do that cut, and then they have the inside read, which helps them for the crosses, which a lot of tight ends, that's what we do. I'd love to see them do some curls and try and body in for a few yards and just do streaks, like big yard plays and big body plays. That's what I want to see from them mostly. We're a safe passing team, and it's nice to see that like Mac knows what he's doing, how to get the ball somewhere and make sure it's like a smart decision. But you got to take risks. Like you can't win it all if you don't take risks. You know what I mean?
Yep.
If you play too safe, you're gonna find yourself exactly where you've been the whole time. You need to take those risks. You need to send them out on routes that people don't think they're gonna do. But we've seen them do it, and we know they can do it. Those are two big, strong, fast guys that love taking the ball upfield. And then we have the wideouts. So if we put a lot of pressure on the wideouts and have the tight ends keep blocking, it's gonna easily see the defenses are gonna be like, all right, cool, they're a wide receiver passing team. That opens up the opportunity for us to start using them.
Exactly.
So this first week to have them be those like more sustainable like protector roles, that's good because now we can work with them in other ways because now they have an eyesight of what we're going to do. They're like, oh, Dolphins did it great against them. They ran a man defense against the wide receivers the whole time, and then had the safeties play deep routes, and then they had their linebackers each play flat routes to make sure that nobody was crossing over. It stopped them. We won. Like that. They're going to see that and try and play off that a bit, or at least do something similar to it. Or you have like teams like the Saints who are just ridiculous on defense, who is going to be a tough game. But if we can blend the tight ends into our offense more, I think that'll be the key to actually getting us somewhere in the offseason. Because we have our tight ends, in my opinion, as our best skill players. Both of those two players are our best wideouts. Like I don't see a season where we win if we don't cooperate them and actually put them in the offense more.
All right. So to finish this up, I want you to give your top two positive takeaways from the game, and I'll give my top two negative takeaways from the game. So what would you say your top two positive takeaways from the game are?
My top two positive is I like seeing Mac very comfortable in his position. I like seeing him be able to actually work with an offense where he seems that he's in control. I like seeing him have that drive and have that positivity to be able to be like, yeah, this is my team. I'm going to do it for my team and actually perform well. He didn't play bad, which is not exactly what I could ask for him. Don't play bad. That's good for me. You play good and the players around you pick it up as well. I'm cool. You're good. We're good. Awesome. Another good takeaway is honestly, I know they struggled in the late half of the game, but our running backs, our running core looked really strong in the first half of the game. I love the speed. I love the flexibility we have with that lineup because James White, we've always known him for that easy back out. Like he's a receiver at the running back position. We love him for like those tight wheels and those slants that we have him do on the outside of the field. And then I love having Harris just for the bully little man. Like it's something you don't see a lot, and he's doing a lot of inside runs as a very small but fast running back, and I love seeing that. And there's going to be a lot more coming in with it's Taylor coming back next week, right?
Taylor's coming back.
Yeah. So having those three as like a strong back core, I'm very excited to see what our running backs can do. And I'm not upset about Sony being gone because I was never a big Sony Michel guy to begin with. But now that we have these three comfortable and like confident running backs running with Mac Jones, it's going to relieve him of a lot of pressure that can come with being a brand new quarterback in the league.
All right. So my top two negative takeaways from the game. Number one, I talked about offensive line. I think they need to be better. Need to clean it up on the penalties and clean it up on just protecting the quarterback. You got a young quarterback. You don't want defenders getting at him. And the Dolphins defense is good. They have good defensive line, but they're not great. So we're going to see better defensive lines. So I think we got to really clean that up. I think next week it's definitely not as good of a defensive line. So I would be if they look like that again against a defensive line like the Jets, I think we should be scared. Number two, I would say probably not incorporating the tight ends as much. I hope to see it more, but as I said, I think it'll come with some time. And I hope to see them get more involved. And And while we're talking about getting more people involved, I want to see Bourne more. That's the other guy I want to see more. So those are my top two. Just takeaways that I want to see them do better. So that's all I got for Harry. You got anything else you want to talk
about? Real quick, for you guys in the fantasy side of the department, if you're looking at Patriots players in the fantasy side, stay away from them for now, because we love our Patriots core right now. We love what we're doing. We're liking seeing it get better, but in the fantasy aspect, there's not really a lot of strong options you have, because we have a very flexible.
If you're gonna look at one, Damian Harris is probably your most reliable option. I wouldn't go much farther than that.
No.
Especially against good
Max
run.
Not a starter. Max not a starter yet. Max is not a starter.
Well, maybe in a larger league, but I mean,
if you have like a 14-team league, then yeah, I'd start.
I mean, next week they're playing the Jets. Maybe we'll look at it.
Hey, right? Never know.
Maybe you look at it, but
for non-Patriots talk, cut out all that entirely. TikTok's back. So if you guys want to check out down below, there'll be a link in the description, and we'll try and show it up in the comments a little bit as well. We got the TikTok coming back. Over there, that's my side of OffBeat. If you guys didn't know that already, I'm gonna be starting to rebuild and revamp it, because I've been gone, boot camp, MCT, MOS school, all that. But now I'm back. I'm in the fleet, and I'm able to do these interactions, which me and Cross miss so much. But so stop.
Let's go.
But hey, so I'm gonna be doing on Tuesdays. You can look for a weekly recap, and it's mostly gonna be for fantasy football players, because I love my fantasy, and it's gonna be for like nice little skits and stuff that we can do about the Marine Corps to either make fun of or pick fun at our own team. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It'll be fun. Over on my side, we got the Instagram still running strong with some of our team. We're revamping that. We got Aiden, Jake Holmes. We got Joe helping us out. We're gonna really get that going. So make sure you're following, and make sure you're checking us out on all our platforms. And because we really revamping this thing, and we're getting this stuff going.
So stay tuned. We got a few big events coming up. We got the OffBeat coming in. With the TikTok revamped, we're revamping the Instagram. We're making a new OffBeat for ourselves, and starting with that is we're gonna do this pick'ems thing a lot more often. So if you guys are interested to see who's I mean the best.
A lot of football left, Harry. A lot of football left.
Hey, but all I'm saying is like this is what I do, man. Like this is
a lot of football. Hey, you're only up one. There's a lot of football left to be played. Don't get too comfortable in that first spot, eh?
Hey, catch me next week when I'm up by 14. Okay.
All right.
That's what I'm saying.
All right. So that's all we got for today. So thanks everyone for listening or watching. Make sure you go check out Celsius. Awesome product. They really hooked us up with some nice merch.
Coming in.
So I'll be shipping that down to Harry. He's going to be repping it.
Next episode you're gonna see is both of these shirts.
OffBeat is back. Let's go.
Back, baby. Let's get it.
Thanks everybody.
Have a good one, guys.